Hello there, welcome back for another video, guys. Like I was saying a while back, my approach to languages have changed a bit. So probably make this video, well, not probably, I will make this video and kind of explain how my approach has changed a bit and how I've refined my approach a bit and have a better understanding on how to go about learning a language from scratch. And there's a growing number of people out there, friends and family included, who are becoming interested in wanting to learn languages. And they're like, look, this, it's I'm realizing, they've seen me, they've seen other people on YouTube and stuff like that, and they're realizing this is possible. People are doing this at home by themselves. You don't need as much time as you would think. However, you need to dedicate time in order to get results. But you surprisingly, for example, you don't need 3 hours this day, 2 hours that day. You can make significant strides out of less than half an hour a day. Less than half an hour a day, if you know the right way to go about it. Of course, my way is not gonna work for everybody, but I could only show you things from my perspective. And but the way I've been doing it has worked for me because I've reached a high beginner stage to about a pre-intermediate stage in more than one language. So that being said, I think I could at least show some people, I'm at least, I guess, somewhat, qualified, so to speak, to at least show people from my perspective what I've been doing has worked for me. So I'm just gonna jump right into it. So you've established you wanted to learn a language. You probably already know words and phrases in that language. That's what draws you to the language, the sound, or for whatever other motivations. You might have a girlfriend or a wife or somebody from a specific country that speaks the language you need to learn, or you want to go to that country someday, or you're obsessed with anime culture or K-pop or whatever, but you've realized you've liked this language for a while or loved this language and you want to go about learning this. You want to get into this language and start learning it and start using it, and going online and meeting people and chatting, or going out and about in the city and you're meeting tourists and different workers at different places that speak these languages, and you want to practice it. So the first thing you need to do, you need to make it about you. That's the most important thing. So you're not going to get a bunch of beginner books and then think that somehow it's just going to, you're just going to work some sort of miracle. No, you need to isolate some phrases and things that are about you. Not in topics, phrases and words and stuff that are relevant to you and your life. And so, first things first, you'll go and get your beginner books or your beginner resources. There might be some electronical things on the computer and stuff like that. You're going to preferably want more than one because they cover different areas. You get to see things from different perspectives, slightly different word orders sometimes and stuff like that, slightly different word choices, and that's just going to benefit you even more. So more than one beginner resource, and you can get that for not that much money for most of the languages that are out there. Then, like I said, you need to isolate things and make things about you. So you need to get your notebook. You need to really think and anticipate the kind of questions people are going to ask you once you have established that you can speak a little of their language. You need to try to isolate the direction the conversation will go in. Right on the top of one page. Do you speak this language? And then you'll think about all of the questions that might come after that. How did you learn? How long have you studied? Stuff like that. Then you might write on another page, where are you from? Where do you live? You know, how long have you lived there? What do you do for work? You write things like that, all the question words and the different responses and stuff like that. And those are the things you'll go over from your notebook every day and kind of get it drilled into your mind out loud, preferably. So, notebook, beginner resources, I covered that. Um, Now I would go into how to go about finding people. So, for finding people, it depends on the language. If you live in a very metropolitan city, you know, when it's a very touristy season, you'd start to realize after you lived in a city for a while where the sorts of people hang out or will be located that speak the language that you speak your target language. For example, I live in Edinburgh. There's a lot of Spanish speakers. There's a lot of Spanish speaking tourists from all over the world. I've met people from all range of Spanish countries, Central America, Spain, South America, just all over. Like there's no no restriction for Spanish. It is a huge number of native speakers. So um, what else? For example, German. A lot of Germans come come here in the summertime too. So that's been very great for me. I've got a few conversations in German randomly, just on the spot, out and about in the city. Russian, I've met a few people and stuff like that at parties and stuff because of course Russian has a large number of native speakers because of a lot of the post-Soviet countries. So you'd learn where to go physically to practice, and then you got your apps. You got Hello Talk, which is great for most of the languages out there now. Plus, there's a huge number of people going on Hello Talk to practice English. So, for example, in the past, it was hard to find people for German, and surprisingly, I had trouble finding people in Spanish at the beginning, and then it seemed like a huge wave of people just came on. So Hello Talk's a great place to go. italki is a great place not only to find people to practice casually for free, but you can get, for example, community tutor as also a professional teacher if you want to dish out the money. But you can get a community tutor for not that expensive. And then if you're learning a language, for example, like Spanish or something, you can get a community tutor from a country that has a lower cost of living and actually get lessons pretty cheap. So that's not bad at all. Uh, there's many different routes you can go. And then the last thing I'm going to touch on real quick, because I don't want to make that video that long, is time management. How do you manage your time in learning a language? Like I said, if you have a lot of free time, that's great. Because if you've gotten to a rhythm and realize you're making progress, you found what works for you, then you can refine your approach faster. Not only that, you'll progress faster if you have more time. That's in everything. We all know that. But me personally, because I'm a person who I get really restless when I'm sitting there trying to read stuff. So it's easier for me to squeeze in, for example, traveling on public transport and stuff like that, or, I got a day off or something like that. It's easier for me to squeeze in 10 minutes, 15 minutes here, open my book up on the bus, go through a few dialogues, before bed, go on YouTube, listen to some beginner materials and stuff like that. It's easier for me to do that than to full on sit there for an hour at a time. If I'm going to be sitting down for a lengthy period of time, like 45 minutes to an hour, I need to be writing stuff. So that's what I use for my notebook time. If I have an hour here or an hour there, sit in a cafe or something, because at home I get distracted too easy. But so yeah, I would say time is it's there. If you want to do it, you need to make the time, and you can squeeze it. You can find a way to make the time. if you really want to do it. So that concludes this video, guys. That's basically in a nutshell what I do. I hope it helped. I could probably like pick out different parts of the approach and kind of make more detailed videos on that. And yeah, but anyway, thanks for watching, guys, as always, and hopefully see you soon. Got some changes coming up really soon, some pretty big changes to my circumstances, so you might be seeing some videos relating to that, because that is definitely language related. Whether or not this particular situation I will be learning that language in depth or not, I don't know, but we got some language related changes coming up. Stay tuned.